without further ado, everyone that is attending now and who will be joining, thank you so much. A lot of preparation and time has went into tonight um, to just bring this to the forefront. First of all, I want to thank my board. I do anything for allowing me to go and do the things I do in Community Heroes. So tonight, I wanted to focus on the importance of mentorship. As we know, January is recognized as National Mentor Month, and we have the Day of Service that's really big in the month of January. But there's other days in the month of January that we're gonna get a chance to talk about, like International Mentoring Day or Thank You Your Mentor Day. That's at the end of the month, which is actually tonight. Um, so that's what I want to focus on tonight. I am, for those who don't know me, I'm Tyrone Starkey, the founder CEO of Community Heroes, and the premise of Community Heroes is based on accumulation of experience, education, and just personal life experiences of what I've wanted to basically do every day for a job, which is mentor, but also mentor to improve the at-risk population. And so this is a little bit of information for anyone who wanted to contact us or you just want to know a little bit more about what Community Heroes do. Tonight's speakers are very special to me. Both of them have poured into me as an individual. I think they are exemplary factors of what a mentor should be. First, we will hear from uh, Dr. Manuel Dudley tonight, and he will talk about his role as a mentor and give us some experiences of what he's done over his career. And then follow after him, um, R.J. Allen, a great inspirator himself, will share some things with us about being a mentor and some of the experiences he had. Some of the objectives that I hope the viewers tonight will take away with them um, will be just to understand the sacrifices that mentors make for their mentees. Because at the end of the day, they are human, but they often sacrifice their own personal life opportunities to pour into someone else. So, as you see here, we got some bullets showing some of the things that you should take away. The improvement of communication and personal skills, development of being a leader yourself and management qualities, reinforcement skills when it comes to certain skills and knowledge of your mentee or your subject matter. And lastly, for those who want to go on and particularly be a mentor themselves, uh, hopefully these stories will give you the confidence and motivation to pursue maybe being a mentor, going on some mentorship. So we'll lastly some house rules here. Um, for those who are here, we will have a Q&A section. If there are any issues, you can put a message in the chat box, and I will see it and I will try to address it. When the opportunity comes at the Q&A, please speak slowly and clearly. And lastly, just make sure you use appropriate and appropriate language to be respectful for everyone in attendance. Then, if you want to know a lot more about mentoring, there's a website that you can use. So, um, that those are some quick house rules. I want to go back to our regular view. Um, so I'm, I'm I'm going to now let I'm going to let Landon Dudley. I'm gonna message. I'm gonna just be. I'm gonna take my face off here, so it'll be. Um, uh, um, so I want to let you speak now. What's the
All right. All right. Good evening, everyone. And Mr. Starkey, you ready for me to speak? Okay.
yes,
All right. Good evening. Let's get this show on the road. I am honored to be here. Thank you, Mr. Starkey, for asking me to attend this virtual event. I count it an honor and a privilege as someone that I've known for many, many years and seen you grow from student to professional to community advocate and mentoring advocate to family man. I mean, you have ticked every box. And I often speak of you when I talk to my students and colleagues and use you as an example of determination, sacrifice, and fortitude. So I just like to start the evening with acknowledging who you are to me. You often speak of who I am to you. I want you to know who you are to me. Not only have you been a student, but I definitely consider you a friend and now a colleague in the work of community advocacy and the mentoring of individuals, and particularly young men. I'd like to acknowledge your board and all who helped you organize this event. As you stated, this is National Mentoring Month, and anyone that knows me knows that mentoring work is near and dear to my heart. It's something I've dedicated myself to and my life to for more than 30 years or so. And I definitely appreciate Mr. Allen being here and giving of his time to talk about his mentoring experience. And I look forward to hearing your comments, sir. And sure that I will grow and be enriched from your experience and comments and what you have to add to this very important forum. So without further ado, mentoring, this is National Mentoring Month, and mentoring is something that I think a lot of people talk about. A lot of people think they know about. Many people try to do, but not all people do it successfully. And I think there are reasons for that. One, I think mentoring is something that people assume you have to do a certain way in a particular way. That is the case. It can be formal, it can be informal, but it doesn't have to be the case in every situation. Basically, mentoring can take place in a minute. It can take place over a month. It can take place over decades. Mentoring, simply defined, is assisting someone, helping someone, giving of your time, knowledge, and experience, whether that be through conversation, whether that be through advocacy, whether that be the sharing of information. Mentoring is assisting another individual. So let's just start with that basic understanding. And folks who are participating in this event, uh, believe it or not, you are a mentor to someone more than likely, whether you know it or not. There's someone that is observing you, critiquing you, taking notes about your successes and yes, your failures, because that's what mentoring is all about. It's not just about the highs, it's all about learning from the lows that a person experiences. And so, those of you who are here to learn about mentoring, guess what? You are a mentor, whether it's a family member, a friend, a classmate, someone you see at the grocery store. I would like to think that each of you, in whatever capacity you live and serve and participate, that someone has seen something about you that they want to emulate. They might want to emulate the way you dress. They might want to emulate the way you talk. They might want to have the type of job you have, or even the type of family you have, or your car. You have mentored them in some way. You have motivated them to aspire for something that they do not have and they're aspiring to attain. So, yes, you are a mentor, and I would hope that in your life, wherever you are, whether you're 17 or 77, I would hope that you have likewise found someone that you can emulate, pattern yourself after, something they're doing you like to mirror. I hope that you have found someone that you have said, look, I can learn something from this individual. There's something about this person that makes me want to aspire to higher heights. And so it is an exchange again of information, resources, and support that can be done formally or informally. So I wanted to get that basic definition out there so that everybody knows that we're starting at the same point. Yes, I'm here as a guest speaker. Yes, I have researched mentoring for most of my life, either personally or professionally. I've had and organized mentoring groups and clubs and organizations and written grants, but I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to perfect this act of mentoring. And because individuals are forever changing and evolving, what I researched and what I practiced just 2 years ago is out of date. What I did and research and practice 5 years ago is definitely out of date. The mentoring club I had, African American males committed to success at Wayne Community College, when I was much younger and much smaller, is certainly out of date because that was about 20 some odd years ago. But I did, and we all do, what's necessary at the time for the group that we're appealing to and trying to support. So my own personal mentoring story, as an aside, a young man growing up in Goldsboro, graduated from Goldsboro High School, grew up as an only child in all parts of Goldsboro, all parts of town, and had plenty of uncles, plenty of cousins, great friends, but had always looked for someone to pattern my life after. Just knew I wanted better. Just knew I wanted things to be better for me, for my friends, for my future family. And so I began to pinpoint individuals that not had everything right and did everything perfectly. Not that they were successful CEOs, not that they had a lot of money in many cases, but I would pick and choose aspects of individuals that I wanted to emulate. And I would either ask them up front, hey, how did you do that? How did you get that? How did you accomplish that? Or I would just observe. So from a very early age, I selected one of my uncles as my mentor. Actually, one of my uncles was my first mentor. He taught me a lot. He took time with me. He explained a lot of things to me. And he drove most of the guys, people on this call probably won't even remember this car, but I think Mr. Allen would. He drove a Saab. You remember the Saab? Yeah, yeah. You remember the Saab two-door, the real small car? Yep. My uncle drove a kind of pinkish color Saab. That car was so smooth. And I said, one day I want to own a car just like him. My uncle went to UNC Greensboro, played basketball. I said, okay, I want to do what he does. I will go to college one day, and begin to ask him, what do I need to do to prepare and plan for college? He shared the information. He was super smooth. He is one of the most debonair guys, coolest guys I ever met in my life. Dresses nice, always had an appeal with people, a great communicator. So he was my first mentor. Yes, he was a family member, but he was also a mentor because he did not necessarily have to take time with me the way he did. He treated me like a little brother instead of a nephew. And I appreciated that. And along the way in my life, I would select other individuals, teachers, in my middle school, in my high school, even a friend or two. I had a friend that I grew up with, unfortunately, that is now deceased. He was particularly skilled at being a DJ, and he would DJ for parties. So at one time, I wanted to be a DJ because I admire him. And I asked him, how do you do that? Where do you get your records from? How do you select the music that you play when you DJ for parties? How do you hook up the equipment? That was mentoring. And so I've just used this basic formula throughout my life as a mentee to learn as much as I can from individuals, from people that, by the way, were not always men, that were not always from my community, and that were not always the same race as me. So that's the other myth I want to dispel. A mentor is literally anyone that you have a formal or informal arrangement with, or that you idolize something that they do or say, and you try to mimic that. So I've had female mentors. I've had mentors of other races. I've had mentors of different religious beliefs. I've had mentors from different parts of the country. I've had all types of mentors in my life. And so a mentor is anyone that you select to pinpoint aspects of their life that you want to mimic. And also anyone that says, I want to share something with you. So mentoring has played a very important part of my life until this very day. I still consider myself a mentor. I still consider myself a mentee. Until I leave this earth, I will continue to select mentors, to select individuals that I can learn and grow from, that I can exchange information with, and who I feel have a vested interest in me. And as I close and yield to Mr. Allen and Mr. Starkey, I just want to say mentoring has become very different than what I practiced and knew and taught and even have done research in. About a month ago, well, last month, I published an article on the importance of mentoring in higher education. And I did research on this in 2010, actually. So the point of my paper was to look at the way we practice mentoring in 2010 and how it's done today. And this is just a little bit of what I found and discovered. And I hate I took all that time and stayed up late at night because everybody knows this stuff already. I just decided to write it down and publish it for the world to see. It's what Mr. Allen knows, it's what Mr. Starkey knows, and it's what you know too. People today, particularly young people today, don't see mentoring in the way that we used to do it. The way we used to do it back in the day, and Mr. Stark, you may remember this, we used to assemble in a room on campus at Wayne Community College. We definitely had to have pizza and food to get the guys to come in. We would sometimes bring a speaker from the community to speak, to talk about maybe financial planning, studying skills, college preparation, anything. We would bring speakers in. It was a very social situation back in 2000. Back then that was 2000, 2001, 2002. To bring it up to date, the way mentoring is done now, e-mentoring is something that is extremely popular right now. Back in 2000, 2001, I probably in most cases knew my mentee extremely well, probably talked to that individual all the time. The way mentoring is done in 2020, I may or may not know the person. I may just exchange some information on Instagram. I may just send that person a link through email. We may just be Facebook friends, and the person asks me a question, I answer the question, and I probably won't talk to that person again. We may be connected on LinkedIn. A person asks for professional information, a resource. So mentoring has evolved from something that was very person to person, in your face, very social, to something that is really done in electronic medium, a social medium, a virtual medium, and we just have to be ready for it. Students today and I'm stereotyping, but students today don't really have the time or interest to sit in a room for an hour and hear me talk. Okay. Yes, there are some that want to do that. Yes, there are some that may request that. But most students today are moving so fast, at such a fast pace, they're looking at this device right here, their phone, and their heads are here. So I've had to evolve and change my mode of exchanging information and what I expect of the mentoring experience. So mentees today have taught me, I want the information. If I want more, I'll ask for more. Other than that, I don't need to see you one time a week, two times a week. I may not need to see you for an entire month. But when I need you, I really want you to be there. I need for you to be there for me, to answer questions, to give me support, to be just someone that I can confide in at that time. And what I call today being a minute mentor. Today, we are minute mentors. We share information in literally seconds in most cases, and the relationship is done. True, there are situations where people do meet, they gather together, they talk for an extended period of time. So we need to be ready to do both. The traditional mentoring that I came up in and used to do when I was at Wayne Community College and have done at other schools, type of relationship I had with my uncle, where we sat down, we went to lunch, we talked for an extended period of time. Yes, that is necessary too. But also, today's mentee needs something quicker, briefer, more interesting, and very specific and targeted. So I appreciate the time to share my thoughts. I appreciate this venue, and I'll stay on to answer any questions that you may have. And I'll yield to Mr. Starkey and Mr. Allen.
And you said so many great points. I'm gonna say my comments toward the end, like everybody else, because there's so many things you touched on, Mr. Dudley, that I just totally agree with, and I don't want to take away from RJ's time. So I'm gonna yield to RJ, like you said, and I'll be like everyone else, hold my questions and comments towards the end. So it's all you now, RJ.
All right, hey everyone, what's up? I am RJ Allen, and I want to thank Dr. Dudley and Mr. Starkey for letting me be part of this. This is awesome. I love to go out and speak and talk to people. And Dr. Dudley did a great job explaining mentoring and all the aspects of it. So I'm going to kind of skip over that part because, no need for you guys to hear it again. He did an awesome job about it. And you know what? All these books back here that you see, that's a green screen. There's no way I read that many books, but it looks good and it makes me look smart. So I go with green screens and stuff that do that. So you guys might say, oh man, he's got a hat on, kind of looks a little country, but then, that makes me look really good. So we're going to go with that. I want to tell you guys about my story. I go out and I do motivational speaking, and I kind of fell into mentoring. And it was something that I didn't really know what I was doing, but it kind of happened. And then I realized, wow, I'm having an impact on people. I need to make sure I'm doing the right things. So let me tell you my story. I'm going to start. I went to Eastern Wayne High School, graduated in '89. And I don't know if Dr. Dudley played football or anything, but if he did, I don't know what year we graduated, but we might have been playing football against each other. So I played football then. I was, young in high school. I was a decent football player. So went around, thinking I was someone in high school and, going, I got class, I got this, I was a decent, I had decent grades in high school. I mean, I was no scholar, but I had decent grades. And then, I thought high school was easy for me. So I got out of high school, went a couple years of college, and I was like, man, I do not know what I'm going to do with my life. I do not want to do this. I definitely don't want to be in school. And I dropped out. Now, I want to tell you, my mom and dad were just thrilled that I dropped out of college. And I am lying. They were not thrilled I dropped out of college. I was the first person in the entire Allen family, generations, to go to school. And I dropped out. Mom and dad were not happy. I was like the hope of, hey, you know, go to school. You're going to be the one. You're going to break the chain. You're going to break the cycle. And I know I disappointed them. And soon after I dropped out, me and my then girlfriend soon got married. And I wanted to be that person who had the car, had all the, you know, I was looking at trying to keep up with everybody else. You know, I had dreams of being rich and doing all this stuff, but I didn't have the work ethic. I won't say I didn't have the work ethic. I didn't have the background I needed to get there yet. And my wife and I, and it was my fault. We went bankrupt a couple years after we got married, lost everything. And she stayed with me. I mean, I made some bad financial decisions. I was just trying to keep up. I wanted everyone to see that R.J. Allen had made it. And R.J. Allen got humbled very, very quickly. And this is not I can't believe I went bankrupt. I fell short. No, I made stupid choices and I got what I deserved. And then doing that, I took family. I took my wife down with me. She was pregnant. And so when my daughter was born, we had $10 to our name. That was it. And I was like, I am not going to live my life like this. I'm not going to be that dropout. I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm going to work extremely hard. And from that day, I started working and I got promoted and I worked in retail and I kept getting promoted. I got assistant manager, manager, and I kept working. And then finally I got, and I want to tell you, I never really had a mentor at that point. It was just, I felt so like I had disappointed everyone in my life. I felt like a failure as a man, as a husband, as a father. And I was like, I got to do better than this. I've got to do better than this. And it wasn't until I was about 29, 30 years old. I'd say I was closer to 30. And I was working in a big box retail store. And this lady came in to run the store. And I was going to be her assistant. Little did I know that relationship with that woman as a mentor was going to change my life forever. Soon after she came in, we would walk the store together, and it was big box retail, so it was a huge store. And one day she told me, she goes, look, RJ, you've got great work ethic. You're intelligent, but you're rough around the edges. Follow me, and I will make you what you want to be, and I will get you where you want to go. Within a year, I was promoted. Within 2 years, I was making over $100,000 without a college degree. Those 2 years I was with her, I gained confidence in who I was, to where I always thought I was below because I didn't have my college education. I had gone bankrupt. I just didn't feel good enough. As a mentor, she made me feel good enough. She took the time. It wasn't soon after that when I got promoted and I said, you know what? I want to go back to school. And guys, I'm going to tear up because every time I tell the story, I tear up, man, because having a mentor in your life can can change your life. And she changed my life. And I don't know if I said her name. Her name was Debbie Rainier. And when I wrote my book, I made sure I put her in there. But she changed my life. And from there, I went back to school. I was the first to graduate college. I was 37 years old, and I walked across the stage at, then it was Mount Olive College. And then I was like, you know what? What am I going to do next? And amongst that success, right after that success, I had a failure because another promotion I was up for and everyone told me I was going to get, I didn't get. So as you're climbing and as you're doing things, you're going to have successes and you're going to have failures. And mentors help pick you back up. And she picked me up and said, RJ, it's okay. You didn't get it. Keep doing what you're doing and something else is going to come. And I didn't know what to do. So I went back to school and I got my master's degree. And I was like, I never even thought about getting a master's degree, ever even thought about it. But I felt God was saying, you know, look, I've got more for you, but I need you to go back and do this stuff because you're going to have a story to tell somebody, and you're going to take that story and you're going to tell people about it, and you're going to inspire and you're going to mentor people. I didn't know when, I didn't know how, but I just did it. And then I ended up graduating with my master's, and I was like, you know what? I'm done with retail. It's been great to me. I'm going to go teach college. At that time, I had another mentor, when another woman. When I got promoted, she took me in and said, hey, I'm going to work with you. Most of my mentors have been women who saw something in me and said, look, we're going to get you to the next level. Now I'm going to jump back. My football coaches, from the time I started playing football to the time I finished, they were all mentors to me. And because of them, I had that never quit spirit inside me. When you played football, when you played sports, and I played I played every year from like I was 5 all the way up till I graduated high school. To never quit, never quit, never quit. And that carried with me. So when I was down and out, I would go back to that, you know, RJ, you got to keep going, you got to keep going. Well, I went out there and I wanted to teach college. And for 2 years, I tried to teach college. Nothing. I mean, I didn't even get a phone call. I didn't get anything. And I mean, I was out there trying. I did everything I could. I was like, are you kidding me? I've got 20-something years in experience. I was a regional manager. I traveled all over the country. Why are you not hiring me to teach business? Are you crazy? Look at me. I've got it all. I can teach college. And God was like, no, you can't. I went in for it. I put an application in for Aycock High School. 2 weeks later, I had a job at Aycock High School. Never in my life did I ever think I would teach high school. But on that same day I got that job, I got stopped by the head football coach. Said, you ever play football? I went, yeah. He goes, what position? So I was a lineman. He goes, really? Let's talk. I not only walked out of that school that day with my dream job of being a teacher, because what I didn't tell you is when I was in high school, I wanted to teach. But I had all my teachers tell me, RJ, you don't want to teach. You don't want to do this job. You know, the kids are awful. You don't get paid much, this, that, and all that stuff. So I didn't go teach. And that's what, you know, when I went to college, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. They told me not to teach. It's horrible. But it all came back round. I've been living my dream for the past 8 years and mentoring young boys I've coached 5, 6 different sports. I coach year round. And little did I know that these kids were going to grow up and still reach out to me. Some of them are getting married, calling me, texting me, and saying, hey, Coach Allen, I remember this. I remember that. Hey, can you help me with this? Or, hey, when you went through this, what was it like? I had no idea that I was going to become a mentor. But it's the best job I've ever had, is to be able to shape young minds and do the things that God has allowed me to do. I went back to school right before I started teaching, because I hadn't got a job yet. And I started my doctorate degree. There was no way in the world I thought I was ever going to graduate college. And now I'm a doctor. Don't ever quit on your dreams. At 37, I graduated college. At 43, I became a teacher. And at 45, I became a doctor. And when I say doctor in education, not a medical doctor. No, my wife's a nurse. I let her handle that stuff. You have got, as mentors, to understand the impact that you're having on people. Because it's lifelong. It's like they will remember the way you treated them their entire life. And I want every young person, but every young person that comes in touch with me, I want them to know that I'm a friend and I'm there to help them. I started a nonprofit organization. I hope some of you've heard of it. It's called Dream Big, Pray Hard, Never Quit. And we have these wristbands, and we've handed out 62,000 wristbands and in 30 countries and in every state in the United States. We started a YouTube channel, of course, website, and I go out there and I interview people that have overcome the odds and went out and achieved their dreams. And I post every one of those on my website. You want to get motivated? You want to go out there and achieve your dreams? You go to that website and you listen to these stories of these great men and women and young people who have overcome the odds and have been successful in life because they had people in their life that cared about them. Just like I had people in my life that cared about me to help me achieve the dreams that I wanted to have. Don't ever give up on your dreams. Find the people that are in your life that you can latch on to that will make you better. Not everyone's going to make you better. Some people are going to want to pull you down because they're scared of your success. That's not the type of person you want to latch on to. You latch on to people that want you to be successful. And they will help you and make you successful. But you still have to do the work. It's not easy. Nothing in life is, but I'm going to tell you, it's definitely worth it. And guys, thank you so much for letting me be part of this. I absolutely love it. I love telling that story because it inspires me every time. And I hope it inspired you as well. So thank you guys so much for letting me be part of this. And you guys are amazing. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to say again, thank you guys. Today is considered Thank Your Mentor Day. So, both of you have instilled in me a lot of values, a lot of time and effort. So, from me personally, I just want to thank my mentors and let you know that you inspire me uh, tremendously. So now, since we're getting close to 8 o'clock, I'm going to kind of open the floor for anyone that may want to ask any questions or make a statement at this moment. I think if you wave your hand, I'll hit the allow to talk. But I think everyone's muted on the side, so it should be like a hand, like a hand icon that well, maybe know you want to speak. Yes. All right, Mr. Burrell.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I appreciate the invite to sit in on this evening. Dr. Dudley and Dr. Allen, I've known those two young men from the time I was at Wayne Community. And I can understand where RJ's coming from because he did approach me several times when I was at Wayne Community College. We talked and worked together on some things, trying to get some things done. And the thing is, I just put a note in the chat box, and this is also something that I've learned over my life, and I've shared this with other folks, that God prepare you and don't put you where he wants you at until you're prepared to go there.
Right.
So I put that out there for RJ because a lot of times we may feel that those stumbling blocks out there are things that holding us back, but in actuality is challenging us to move forward.
Amen.
And so the thing that I would say is that with you and Mr. Dudley both, since we were there at Wayne Community College at the same time, sometimes when your success comes, it's when you don't realize it. Because again, we got to have those mentors in our life. And with that, you can open doors for other people to move through. But again, if the timing is not right, then it's not time for you to move through those doors. So again, thanks you guys for the outstanding presentation this evening. I really enjoyed what you had to say, and God bless.
That's so true.
Thank you, Mr. Burrell.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. You were one of my mentors. As I put in the chat, I had no idea that you would be on this forum tonight. So we have not talked in many, many years. So thank you for being one of my mentors very early in my career, and your contribution to me, faith and trust in me and imparting in me wherever you could made a difference. So thank you, sir.
I might have muted it back.
You're welcome, and I've enjoyed it. Again, like Dr. Dudley has said, the mentoring process has changed over the years, and we have to change with it and adapt to what's going on today. And so I think the thing is, as we move forward, we continue to look back and try to reach back and move forward and pull someone along with us. And I think that's the thing that I've tried to do in my life. And like I said, I got some nieces and nephews that I'm working with right now. And like you said, you always have someone out there that you can be able to mentor to. And RJ, are you still here in Goldsboro?
Yeah, I live in Rosewood, but I left ACOC last year. I actually now teach in Johnston County at a middle school. Still coach football and still coaching stuff and still having the time of my life, but a little different this year with COVID, but you do what you got to do. And I'm looking forward really to next year and getting the students back in class.
That's a great job. Great job.
If we have time, I would love to share this story. Do we have time, Mr. Starkey?
Yes, we have time.
Okay, I'll make it real short. And this is something just, as Mr. Burrell said and Dr. Allen said, that life is amazing. And God puts you where he wants you to be. And it's just amazing how things happen. You don't even realize it. So what Mr. Burrell does not know, and what I would love to what I want to share with the people on this forum and him, is that he said and did something that he probably thought was insignificant many, many years ago. Over 20 years ago, when I worked at Wayne Community College, we had a program on campus. And I was on the program, I think as an MC or saying a few words. And I was wet behind the ears, young, just getting my career started in higher education, just learning the ropes, but had greater aspirations. And I think Mr. Burrell saw that, saw my passion, saw my energy, and really appreciated that. And so when he introduced me as the Honorable Manuel Dudley. Now, most of us know when you reserve that title for someone that's very distinguished, very high in their career. I didn't have the education and experience at that time. I was just teaching classes, loving my work, very young and just getting started. And how he introduced me has such an impact on me that it just transformed what I thought I could do and what I thought I could become. And I often think about him introducing me at that forum, even as recent as last week. I reflect on that, how he introduced me and just the power of words in someone's life. Mentors speak to you. They see something in you that you don't see in yourself. And again, thank you, Mr. Burrell, for just using those words for me to be so young and hadn't accomplished hardly anything at the time. But when he said the Honorable Mr. Dudley is coming to speak to you, I said, you know what? I've got to raise my game. He believes in me and I believe in myself.
Thank you, sir.
I just wanted to say, if I put a link in the chat box for anyone attending. I know I don't have nothing really to give away because this is just a presentation, but I wanted to give something to all attending to show our appreciation from the organization. So it's just a simple virtual background that I created, and you can get it and use it if you use Zoom and Team and Meets and all those other Skype platforms, and you like to use those backgrounds. It's just something to just let you know how we appreciate the attendees tonight. So I'm thinking if there anyone else that is in here that would just like to say anything. Yeah, Michael, that's it. Okay, Mike.
How y'all doing tonight? I just wanted to speak on what Mr. Dudley had said earlier, where he was saying about how we all are influencing someone, or rather, you saying mentoring somebody, and I kind of would agree with that. I only tried my hands a couple of years. And I went to Wayne Community too, but after I graduated, I did a lot of my years too. I did a little bit of I helped mentor, but I was help teaching at the Boys and Girls Club. So in my own way, I felt like I had tried my hand. I think I influenced them in some way, and even the ones that I didn't get to spend a long time with, I feel like I may have put an influence in their life in some way. And I think a lot of them appreciated my presence, you know, even in the amount of time that I got to spend, just being at Boys and Girls Club. And I agree with, what it was saying about, you can mentor someone in their life and, you know, help bring them to the next level. And also, actually, what you're doing is sort of like you're both helping each other find on your journey to make you a better person, actually helping you find yourself in a way. And that's what I had to say about that.
Oh, all right, Mike. Well, we're approaching that 8 o'clock time, and I don't want to run over an hour. So, um, again, everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for attending this webinar. And just the importance of mentors and how they play a significant part just on our lives and being successful. RJ, Manuel, thank you so much. I know I've said it like 1,000 times, but you guys made this a wonderful event tonight. Um, we have another event, Community Heroes, coming up in February. It's not the month is not recognized, but towards the end of February is Rare Disease Day, February the 28th. So we are in the works of again doing another webinar for that and having some key speakers. I got some surprises I'm working on. So that'll be our third one for the 3 annual webinars we do each year. But also, we want you to support us for that. And also just check on our website and find out the latest stuff on what we're doing about trying to instill in the mentees we have. And my newest concept of my mentoring program, the Hero Program, which is helping everyone reach opportunities. So we're doing that, and also there's ways to donate if you believe in our cause, and this is what might see us grow in the new year. So thank you again, and I hope we'll see you again at the next webinar.